Hello everybody and welcome to Cosplaying Around. Today I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about AWA, which I literally just got back from today. I will be going into a lot more detail in my article next week, but this week, obviously, I'm not going to leave you hanging, and we do have some video, yay, of what we did. So, I took my siblings with me, two of them, this was their first convention, and this was all of our first time going to Anime Week in Atlanta. We had a very good time. We got in kind of late on Friday, so we just did a little bit of walking around to kind of get a feel for where everything was in the hotel so that we wouldn't be completely lost over the next couple of days. I always recommend this, even if you get there before the convention starts. Take a good walk around, get your bearings, because you're going to really need it once the crowds get a little crazy. We got there way too late for the dealer's room, which was fine. That's normally the first thing that I want to do, but that's alright. So the next day we got up bright and early and spent about 2 hours getting into costume because we all had to be body painted. Keep in mind, these are the same costumes we're going to be wearing for Halloween. So I have got to come up with some options here because I am not going to be painting us every single time. I will paint myself gladly. I'm not painting everybody else. Now, granted, I won't take them full credit. It didn't take as long as it could have because they painted their own arms, thankfully. But it was an experience, and we definitely got paint everywhere. Made sure we doused ourselves in baby powder so we would not repeat the process of getting paint everywhere on everyone else, and I do believe we succeeded. I know that I hugged and touched quite a few people and did not get white on them, although I did get it in the car, but that was because of the baby powder. We had quite a lot of fun. This was a fantastic first convention for my sisters because it can be a little bit more tame than some of the other conventions that I've been to earlier in the day. We were very fantastically receptive. We all got a lot of compliments, which meant a lot to me for my sisters because I really wanted them to have a very good experience for the first time cosplaying out at a convention. So I cannot express how happy I am for how well the overall convention attendees were while we were there. I did not have any problems with the staff, which is always a good thing. Occasionally I do, which is always interesting because I am one of the nicest people that you'll meet, but I don't think I come across that way. The closest thing we had was we were taking a picture of somebody and someone walked up and said, "Hey, you can't take pictures here," and I apologized and said I didn't see a sign that said we could not. And he kind of paused and looked confused and said, "Well, there's no sign." And I was like, well, maybe there should be a sign if you're going to tell somebody that they shouldn't take photos there. But that is perfectly fine. I don't really consider that any kind of a bad experience with the staff at all. Simply, I would recommend that AWA post a few more signs that say, "Hey, you can't take photos here," or etc., etc. Because while it was a hallway, it was an extremely large hallway, and during a time of night where there really weren't a lot of people out. So that's the only reason we even took a picture there, and we were plastered against the wall, so not trying to justify myself, but if you don't see but a no photograph sign posted, you're gonna make a few assumptions. So we spent most of our time on Saturday later in the day at the Steven Universe photo shoot that was at 5 o'clock. That was very fun. I do have a bit of social anxiety, so I may not have been the most talkative person. I mostly talked to my sisters, although there were a few other people there who were very, very nice, and I did have a little bit of a conversation with them also. A lot of the people there were very young, which I expected, as this is a pretty young fandom, and well, the show's aimed at kids, so I'm not going to say anything about that. But overall, everyone there acted very mature. This photo shoot went very well. It was very smooth. This was actually the first photo shoot I've ever been to. I don't tend to costume as characters that there are necessarily organized photo shoots for, so I was excited for this to be my first one, and it went really well. I think you can kind of tell I wasn't sure what to do in the pictures, which is a little weird for me because I love having my picture taken, but I'm not normally in a huge group setting like that with people that I don't necessarily know. So I kind of just picked a pose and I stuck with it, whereas you have other people who are moving poses the whole entire time, and let's just say lesson learned. I'll spice it up a little bit next time. But overall, it was fantastic. On Sunday, we mostly just hung out in the dealer's room. That's whenever we bought most of our stuff, and I bought quite a few things. There were some awesome artists. As always, if you're into art, go to a convention, especially if you're looking for something new for your wall. So, to wrap this up a little bit, because this is going to be a short but sweet video, AWA is definitely worth going to. It is not a huge convention, but it's not small either. It's in a pretty good location because it's not right smack in the middle of downtown Atlanta. It's kind of on the outskirts. And even though we were not in a host hotel and we did have to drive, it was a very short drive and the traffic wasn't that bad. So, there's that. Either way, it was a relatively affordable convention. And like I said, the crowds were very receiving and it was definitely fun. I hope that for your next year's con-going experiences, you may consider it as an option, and I hope to possibly see you guys there. We will see you next week with a little bit more in-depth coverage here at the Culture Cache. Bye.